Hi, Lino. Good to meet you,
Hi,
and thank you for joining me. You.
I'm happy to join you. And this is this introduction I will do now is something I do often on my own videos on my own channel now. In I don't know how it is in the US, but in Europe, every country, all the authorities are working towards ending anonymity in the internet, and I don't think that actually has to be a bad thing if enough people are honest and brave enough to talk about real issues like we do. My name is Lino Navarra. I'm from Austria. I'm 39 years old. I was born in the year 1986. I'm a Cancer. And I'm eating a ketogenic diet for, in my opinion, around 10 years, on and off, and more into carnivore for about 2 to 3 years. If this story changes sometimes, if you listen to me on different channels or on my own channel, this is not because I'm lying, but it is like sometimes you cannot really remember because I didn't write it down. So yeah, that's me. I'm a father of two boys. I try to be as healthy as I can be. I work out. I go for hikes. I'm running. I'm doing strength training, and I'm trying to have the best human human diet I can have. Yeah, for my health and my sanity. So that's what I do. Um, any more questions about me, or what do you want to know? So
Awesome. Yeah. That's an awesome introduction, and I also have two kids, two boys. Also, that's pretty cool. So Lino, how did you discover carnivore? How did it all start?
yeah, it's like it's similar to what happened to a lot of people. Um, I had some underlying health issues. Um, in my case, they were not too bad. So a lot of people maybe would have lived with those for some time, or would have taken medication or whatever. But because of my personal history, family history, I'm not too big with doctors. In my opinion, they know far less than they pretend to. Um, and sometimes, in my opinion, this even borders into maliciousness if they don't if they're not truthful about their lack of ability to heal people, because actually they think about themselves that they can heal everybody and they can't. So I started to do in my early late 20s, I started to work out a lot, and I had some friends doing the ketogenic diet for weight loss and also performance boost. And so around 29, yeah, so for 10 years, it's actually true. When I was 29, I started to eat, all the keto treats and a lot of cheese and fatty bacon and a lot of nuts, everything that has high fat and protein. And years later, I went back into it. So at first I did it because of the whole fitness thing and working out and weight loss. like weight loss. I never had above 18% body fat. So really, like, you want to have a six pack and you want to see all the muscles. So you want to go down really low. But then, I had these health issues, digestive issues, and a lot of other stuff that if you have digestive issues, you can, connect it to food. But a lot of the other stuff is not really related to my digestion, and so I didn't combine those. And later I started to get better in things I wouldn't have known were actually benefited by the ketogenic and carnivore diet. So what can I say? I had a lot of dandruff, and I get it quite fast when I eat carbs. I don't know. I don't make a difference. I don't differentiate between the carbs. Carbs is carbs. Pasta, bread, sugar, because it comes together. Yeah, when you start drinking some sodas, then you also start eating the cheap cakes again, and then you eat potato chips, and so it can get out of hand quite fast. So carbs are carbs, no matter if it's bread, pasta, or cake or candy. Yeah. So, and if I eat carbs, the symptoms I have come back quite fast, like in 1 or 2 weeks. But it also depends on how long I was faithful to the carnivore diet. Because the longer I do it, the longer is the, let's say, grace period where I can stand normal food without getting symptoms. And those symptoms are, like I said, dandruff, which is actually not bad. Most people have dandruff, yeah, and are like using Head and Shoulders and you know what, and fighting against it their whole life and think that's how I am. I have the genetics for dandruff. And actually they don't combine it. That dandruff is actually a fungus that is hurting their scalp. And I also get dandruff in my ears and dandruff, flaky skin in the face and in the beard. And at the moment I have a bit of issues because I have a friend with a restaurant, and sometimes I help out there, and on top of the payment he gives me, I get free food. So I have to be really, really careful on what to eat there, because it's normal, standard food. And for me, it takes around 1 week of working there I can stay strong. But after 1 week, and it's also a bakery, a coffee shop, so they have cakes, and I have to prepare it for the customers. And sometimes it's like in a movie, like you have one a little bit on the finger and you're like licking it, and then it starts, and 2 days later there is like a little piece left that no customer wants to eat, and you're like, yeah, why throw it away? And then you eat it, and days later, 1 or 2 days later, I'm already in the coffee room eating the cake like a maniac, because it's addicting. But it always helps me to get back on track, because after some days the symptoms start again, which are also vertigo. For a long time I didn't connect my vertigo with my diet. I several times a day, I cannot say how often, 2-3 times, everything started spinning, like I would have fallen down. But when you know it's just a second and you already know it's coming, you just don't move, and then it's gone again, or you hold somewhere, or you sit down, and then it's gone. So for years I didn't know where this is coming from. I thought it was normal. Also I had bleeding on my colon. Yeah, every time I wiped after pooping, yeah, I had blood on the thing, and it gets worse depending on the food I eat. And at the moment, I think the seed oils from frying are at least as bad as the sugar, because at the restaurant, this is actually like I can do studies over there, depending on the food I eat, because they have a lot of I try to stay carnivore and ketogenic, but a lot of the food is fried. They change the food, the oil every day, and it's the expensive sunflower oil, and not some cheap stuff, but it's sunflower oil. And we know that sunflower oil is not good for you, and that it starts breaking down quite early, even if it's not smoking, and on and on. And if I ate, in Austria we have something called Fleischlaberl. It's actually a burger patty. Yeah, it's a burger, but we don't grill it, we fry it in the deep fryer, or some breaded chicken or whatever, fried chicken. And it can be borderline ketogenic and carnivore, but you know how it is. You shouldn't eat the seed oils. And I can feel it. So I can feel my health deteriorating with consuming seed oils, even if I'm on keto and carnivore. So if I eat the fried stuff, it's not only about not eating carbs and bread. So I don't know. I have my own conclusion is that the seed oils. Wait, let me turn on one more light because the sun is going down. So I had the conclusion after testing out which of those poisons hurt me the most, that the seed oils are at least as bad as the carbs. And combined, it's the worst thing. Like, yeah. So, like I said, at the moment, I'm not doing so well because I'm starting anew again. This is like, I don't know if you have this in the US. We have these special restaurants, which my friend has, is only seasonal. So they have their own produce and only their own produce. And when the things are in season, they sell their own stuff. Yeah. And so it's only for like 2 or 3 weeks, which is good for me because otherwise I would really need to work on my discipline. But I'm testing out my mental fortitude. So I can do it for 1.5 weeks before I start to get weak. Then I eat all the shit, all the good stuff that is evil for my body for like a week. And then I start getting symptoms, and then it's already over and I can go back into my normal diet, which is a good point to make. For me, my normal diet is carnivore. This is my standard normal diet and not something I try out. This is my baseline. Yeah. And the bleeding goes away when I do it for like 1 or 2 weeks on carnivore. And people always told me, like, I have hemorrhoids. I don't go to doctors, so I don't know. I have hemorrhoids. This is what people told me. And I wipe too hard. Yeah, but if I don't eat standard diets, if I eat carnivore 1-2 weeks, then it's gone. And symptoms gone is always a sign for I'm doing good. The vertigo goes away, the dandruff goes away. Apparently people say IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. So I get, after I eat, I have to run to the toilet like between 10 and 20 minutes later, quite urgently. And even if I eat food people would consider healthy. But that's not always true what people consider healthy. I have quite severe histamine intolerance if I eat a standard diet, if I eat carbs and seed oils. And what else? I think that's all the body symptoms I have. Maybe something will come up when we talk on, but they all go away. And this is like a on-off switch. If I change my diet to carnivore, keto carnivore, because actually I'm not doing so good with nuts and dark chocolate, because at first I ate a lot of nuts and dark chocolate to satisfy my cravings for snacking and sweets. But I got this is all self-diagnosed for everyone listening. Yeah, I have no blood work or anything on that, but I combine it with the things I know and other people talk about. So maybe I have oxalate dumping, because if I eat a lot of almonds and black chocolate, dark chocolate, really dark, like 99% cocoa, then I get really bad headaches and also really bad pain in my neck and in my trapezius muscle, like here and there, like really hard, and also it makes weird sounds when I move my head, like having sand in a what is it called with the balls? Ball bearing, that's the word. So yeah, and all of those symptoms go away, but I really have to watch out, because at the moment I try to reduce cheese, because cheese is super convenient if you do good with it, because it's high fat, high protein, and actually most of the time super clean, nothing else, no artificial whatever. Yeah. But I try to fade it out a bit, because this is, I'm really spoiled, I try to have a 6-pack, but I cannot do it. So I think maybe I reduce my, my dairy even more, because I eat a lot of, heavy cream and, the cheese, hard cheese. We're like the Swiss, like it's super dense in nutrients, because it has around 30% fat, 30% protein, like it's 60% essential nutrients, no carbs, almost no lactose. So I try to do that. And yeah, I lost the plot.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, you have quite some health issues here, like especially with the digestive issues. I think you refer to it as IBS, and then
probably,
the dandruff.
maybe. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Itchy
And
scalp.
you got better. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because I have the same problem. Like I have skin issues also. So I have like eczema and psoriasis, like itchy scalp. But after going carnivore, it went away. So, but the only thing that's left is the itchy scalp. So I think kind of triggered me. Like I guess it brought some idea. Maybe I'm dealing with fungus. Maybe not psoriasis or eczema per se. I don't know if they're in the same family, but it could be just a dandruff issue. But yeah, that is awesome, that how you healed, pretty much like the bleeding goes away after carnivore, all the symptoms went away. That's pretty cool. did you have like any underlying assumption, before finding out carnivore? Like what was causing your digestive issue? Maybe it could be like maybe genetics or a specific food. I think because you mentioned nuts and dark chocolate pretty much like kind of gets you to like flare up. Did you have any assumption what was causing the health issues before finding out carnivore?
I always thought it's meat because of the histamine intolerance. And I really had the worst issues when I ate not so fresh meat, like aged steak and stuff like that, or bacon, like, but the dry aged stuff, the fermented, ripened stuff. But it was all over the place, so I was at a point where I only eat ham and cheese sandwich, like white bread, ham and cheese. Like I was like, this is so neutral. What can possibly happen? And I even at that point I had diarrhea because I was drinking a lot of energy drinks. Most of us, okay. A lot of energy drinks, and I didn't connect my high sugar consumption, my high because actually we had really good energy drinks. We had this, it's a brand from a local supermarket, which was organic, like only cane sugar, mango puree, and caffeine and sparkling water, which is actually not bad if you consider it, like no artificial sweeteners, no colorants and stuff, but it was still a lot of sugar. And if you drink liters and liters, like 1 or 2 a day of any sweetened beverage, you consume hundreds of grams of sugar and are constantly feeding parasites. This is what you said, your issues with fungus. Maybe I think we all have a lot of parasites, different parasites, fungi, whatever worms, whatever bacteria, wrong, flora. I don't know, bacteria, animals, whatever. Wrong bacteria in the colon, wrong bacteria in the mouth also, because my teeth are so good at the moment with not eating sugar. I always had problems with cavities. For now, I go to the dentist like once every other year just to check up. But I have the best teeth in my family, and I brush my teeth quite irregularly. Yeah, like okay, I have to be honest. Maybe people think it's gross. It is also a bit gross, but I brushed my teeth now. I didn't brush it for 3 weeks. I brushed them today with like some super hippie organic toothpaste and a super high bristle count toothbrush with like over 10,000, like super fine polishing. And then I use coconut oil. And because I don't feed the bad bacteria, and this is the point I want to make, yeah, I don't feed the bad bacteria in my mouth that are destroying my mouth, my teeth. I actually try to cultivate the body own bacteria, because we are animals. We're part God, part animal, yeah, but our animal part needs to work aligned with nature, and no other animal has so much health issues like we have. And that is what I try to use: less soap, less toothpaste. You can brush your teeth with natron, with baking soda, and with activated charcoal, or even use some fluoride-free. I'm one of those anti-fluoride weirdos. Fluoride-free toothpaste once in a while. But if you don't eat sugar and don't feed the bad bacteria, your teeth can actually heal. Yeah, I had toothaches because I ate too much sugar like 2 months ago. Then I started with my routine again, stopped eating sugar, stopped eating carbs, did the coconut oil and so on. And it's gone. The pain is gone. So that's that. I'm super healthy at the moment, I think, because I'm going for runs. Like, a week ago, I ran a half marathon. Just for fun, without competition. Yeah, just because. Yeah, and I run 10K like every week, just to work on myself and my. We have a word, Schweinehund, my swine dog, the inner swine dog. Yeah, we have to fight our own weakness or laziness. Yeah, and it's fun. And I'm almost 40 years old. I will be 40 in July, and I'm actually maybe at the best health of my adult life. Because as kids, we're all healthy because we still are overflowing with stem cells and we're still fresh and we're still regenerating everything, even if we have a super shit diet, like eating candy and gummy bears. But then when we get older, we need to really look after ourselves. And I'm at this point, and I think it's quite a healthy midlife crisis where you start working out and looking after yourself. But I want to talk about one more topic because my physical symptoms, my physical ailments were not the only problems. I always had anger issues all my life. I had quite a temperament, and also I wouldn't say depression, but I was quite sad, like a strong disappointment with the world and everything that's going on. I mean, the state of the world is disappointing, but it's also at the same time, everything can be good if you tone down your expectations and focus on yourself and move away from trying to save the world and start saving yourself at first. And that's what I did. And I found out that when I'm on keto, on the ketogenic, when I have no carbs, let's say like that, when I have no carbs, then my fire is not as hot as it would be normally, which is a good thing because you don't want your feelings to go like this and like that and like this and like that. You want, of course I can be happy, but I'm not super, super, super happy and then super, super down. And I'm not so easily aggravated. Yeah. Like, I have less road rage. I will, what's the word when you go to the priest? What's the word? You tell me, help me out. When you go to your priest and tell him your sins, what's the word? Confession.
Confession.
I will confess live, not live, here on the internet. I punched a guy, another cyclist, because he was rude to me on a cross section. Like this, I was this angry, yeah. And he was just I don't know what he wanted. He was bad mouthing me because I took too long to move on, and I drove after him like a maniac and punched him and drove off, which was actually super retarded. I don't want to say that. In my family, we don't want to use the word retarded as a bad word because actually people are like they are. It was a super stupid move to punch a stranger because of road rage. It was a bike cycling road rage. I was one of those aggressive bike cyclists you see on YouTube. You know, I real Karen. And now I just chill, I mean, maybe the other guy has a bad day or he's in a hurry or whatever. Yeah. Like, and with my family, I'm not super chill now. I'm not a chill person. This is not my character, but I can keep my temper in check way easier. And, if you're always on fire with carbs, it's, for people with my character traits, it's quite easy to be so angry that things can get out of hand. Yeah. And this is not a good thing. And I'm like 90% more in control of my anger when I don't eat carbs. Maybe because of insulin or what kind of things are going on. I'm not asking the why so much. I test things out. Like I see the things that are happening, the symptoms, positive or negative symptoms on my body and mind. And then I recognize them. Because, yeah, of course I can go. I want to do a blood work at some point. Now I'm quite good back into carnivore at the moment. If I do stray away from carnivore, it's only like for half a week or maximum a week. Then I get all the symptoms again and I'm reminded why I actually do this. Yeah, because sometimes I'm like one of those crazy people that are like, oh, I don't need to take my medication anymore. I'm super sane now. I can do whatever I want. And then I'm at the point like, oh, I'm feeling so good. I can eat cake. I can eat bread, pizza and pasta. And then it starts to come back and I'm like, yeah, there was something like there was a reason why I did that. And then I go back and now I'm quite good on my path again. And it gets easier to get back into line the longer you do it, because like I said, carnivore is my normal standard way of living now. And maybe in 2 months I want to do a blood work just to fuck with the doctors and tell them I only eat meat and I eat butter sticks and whatever. Yeah, sometimes I do it to shock people. When I'm at this restaurant where I work, I eat the main dish without side dish, like it's a ragu or whatever, sometimes with chicken, which is the most useless meat in my opinion, because it's so lean. And actually I think because they grow so fast, they're way more chemicals in chicken like in beef, in my opinion. But so I eat this ragu or whatever with a bit of vegetables and the meat, and then I eat a stick of butter with it, like instead of eating a piece of bread. And people are like, "You're crazy! How can you do that? How are you not vomiting? It's so much fat." And I say, yeah, and I tell them, it's hard to tell people, especially old people, like people in their 60s or up, or 50s or up, like the boomer generation, how we call them lovingly, more or less. They think you need your rice and you need your pasta and you need your bread and you need your dumplings, because otherwise how would you have strength to work? But I'm going on and on and on. And sometimes I have my wearable on, and I'm working everything, wait as a waiter, and bringing the food to the customers, getting the orders and stuff. And I walk 20 kilometers a shift. Yeah. And I'm doing well. I'm going like the rabbit in the Duracell commercial, like brr, brr, brr. So actually, like there was this guy, I think he's carnivore runner or whatever. It is the longer you go on a keto fueled state, the longer you go, the easier it gets. And actually my muscles give up before my cardiovascular system. And the last thing that gives up is my mind. I can go until I have cramps and everything. But then I have to stop. My body can't go anymore. Yeah. So, yes, that's what I said. I want to fuck with the doctors. I want to mess with them and see. Otherwise, I don't go to a doctor. Why would I? People tell me, yeah, you're almost 40 now. You need to do your regular checkups. Why? I'm healthy. I have no issues. To see that my LDL and HDL and whatever cholesterol and blood pressure. I already had these kind of discussions with people at work, at my other workplace that had high blood pressure and had no symptoms, like no ailments. And I said, okay, so what's the symptom? Nothing. The doctor told me, and now you take medication now? Yes. Without you having any symptoms before? Yes. Okay. So I just ask questions and hope, because I'm a weirdo, you know, I'm a conspiracy theorist. And, for me to talk with, you call them normies or NPCs or whatever derogatory term you want to tell them, it's quite hard to talk with them about certain topics and to tell certain people that you eat like 4 or 5 eggs every day and only eat meat and eat butter. I put a piece of butter into my coffee, and they think you're weird, but look at me. The camera makes it a bit more smooth, but I have good skin. I have all my ailments I told you about go away. I feel fine. I go through the woods. I see the sun shining. You know, I feel healthy and good, and I don't feel like I'm 40 years old. Yeah, people always tell me I look like at least 10 years younger, which also has a bit to do with attitude. Yeah, because you age with your attitude. If you act like an old person and pity yourself, and don't get me wrong, some people are really bad off, and I don't want to talk down to people who really have had super bad circumstances, bad health and whatever. Yeah, but I have it quite good. Yeah, I'm not rich, but I'm healthy, and I'm in a rich country, which, like I said at some other point in another video, being poor in a rich country is still very good. And don't take it in a bad way, but I don't think the US is as rich as Middle Europe, because let's not talk about politics and if the safety net is good or bad, or if the health insurance mandatory. We have everything mandatory, okay? Like 50% of my money after it already goes away to the state when I work. Let's not talk about that, but what could happen to me if I have an accident? I'm cared for. If I get unemployed, I have unemployed insurance. And so why would I feel bad about myself? So yeah, and I'm jumping around now. Also, the depression, the sadness is gone. You know, I feel happy. I'm happy. I have this underlying state of happiness, of not happiness, satisfaction. Yeah, like with my life, with being alive, with Zufriedenheit. How would I say it in satisfaction is when you satisfy a need. Yeah. I'm balanced. Let's say it like that. Yeah. I'm not in distress. Yeah. And yeah, that's that. And all of that happened because I changed my diet. And that is quite astonishing and crazy, because other
Yeah.
people like
I
my
guess
mother, my mother takes 5
go ahead.
psychiatric medicines. Yeah, she's something like depression and whatever. Yeah, and this is the other route you could go. Yeah, this is always your life is always a string of decisions. And I decided to not eat cake and feel healthy, and it works for me.
Yeah. That's really awesome. I mean, I guess I just wanted to highlight a couple of things. You mentioned about your friend's restaurant that you help him with. I think you mentioned that you try to test your mental fortitude. I guess it's kind of like the food noise that you battle against. I guess many carnivore tend to do that also, is to see, like, you know, if they still have what do you call it? It's like mental, like emotional attachment when it comes to food, and then they would go back after they try like some carbs, and then they go back to carnivore approach again. And I think also when you mentioned about the normies and the NPCs, I think this is the
Yeah,
same struggles that.
I'm a bit nasty to them, because I'm, like I said,
Yeah,
there is a lot of reasons why you could be disappointed with people. Like, there is a lot of things are going on in this world. I don't want to go into it. Everything on my channel, I talk about all the conspiracies I'm into. But I think there are many. This is just one thing. This is health. Let's talk about health. Health is something for everyone. And a lot of people are sick and are just accepting the state of being sick. And I think this is not an option for me. Excuse me, I interrupted you.
No, no worries. I actually agree with that because, as you mentioned, normies and NPCs, I do feel like many carnivores feel the same way when it comes to translating that message to other people. Because, you know, to them, it's just gonna be like we're like on the deep end of, you know, of this whole carnivore diet, and then, but we look at them differently, and then they look at us differently. So I guess like somewhere along the way we have to like meet them, you know, and able to give our message. But it is a struggle between.
Yeah, but with everything that happened the last several years, a lot happened in the world. I am open to meeting people on their side if they want to. I'm open to discussions. I actually now, if I have a discussion with someone, even with my wife, about family topics, I often start the talk, the dialogue with the sentence, please, let's talk in good faith. Let's try to understand the other side, and let's come to kind of a mutual truth and understanding, because sometimes it's just about having an argument, especially in social media. I have discussion, like, you know, this atheist and theist, carnivore, vegan, whatever. Yeah. But, in the long term, or on the reduced, we're all humans. We all want to be healthy. We all want to be safe. Of course, there are some crazy people that don't want to be healthy and safe, but let's talk about the 99.9%. And we want to have understanding, and I'm not a young man anymore. I'm not as angry as I was, and I don't want to alienate people. I'm always open. I try to spread a little hints, like, this is what I do, helps me with this and that stuff, but I don't want to colonize. That's not the word. Doesn't matter. I don't want to get them into my cult.
Maybe.
Yeah. No, I don't want to be overbearing. Like someone is always talking about, this is the thing you have to do. No one has to do anything. You can choose to be unhealthy. You can choose to be superficial. You can choose to be an asshole. You can choose to be a pacifist, whatever. But I want to show the people what I do and that I'm healthy with it. And if the pain gets hard enough and if they cannot stand it anymore and if the medication doesn't help, then they can look at me and say, okay, what are you on about? You told me about this crazy thing you do where you only eat meat and fat. And maybe that's something for me. And I think it goes more and more into mainstream, maybe. Not really, but it's big enough so people cannot ignore it anymore. And it helped enough people. And if we really want to help others, we cannot be hostile only because they abused us in the past. Yeah, because we all are abused by the system in power in some way. And our fellow, this is the hippie in me, our fellow humans are not our enemies. And if we want to help them, we cannot alienate them only because they did us wrong at some point. Yeah. And we went there. We are now healthy. We are now powerful because we have our health in our own hand. As long as they let us eat meat. And yeah. That's that. Maybe I will be more hippie in the future.
Very well said.
Because there was a point in time where I was super angry and not forgiving, and nobody has to forgive everyone for everything, and we can also distance from people. Yeah. But my door will always be open for every person, a friend or not, or foe. And, yeah. And I even will serve them steak.
What is your motivation now? Maybe you can, maybe differentiate your motivation before going carnivore and compare your motivation now. Is it dark and gloomy before, and then now is pretty much just spreading awareness so people can learn about this, something like that?
So at first my motivation was mostly selfish, which is not a bad thing, because our health is our own cross to bear, and we have to work on that. And it's also not so selfish to be healthy, because we all have some loved ones or someone we want to be there for, and it's also our duty in some point. If you are a father, I'm a father, I think it's our duty to be healthy and to be able to be there for them. But it started as a health journey, and it's getting more and more a spiritual journey. Some people might be annoyed by that, and I'm sorry for that. And for you people who are annoyed by the spiritual thing and by enlightenment, then just take the health part and use what you want from it, or don't use it. This is not a cult. Everyone is their own person. But for me, it starts with the propaganda we are subjected to as kids with the food pyramid. I know some things changed in the US now with the food pyramid, but this is just the beginning. In Austria, my wife is a teacher in middle school, and she has to teach the standard American European diet where cornflakes are more healthy than bacon. But she starts to spread, we cannot separate ourselves from the people we want to influence and save, or at least because we need to save them to save us, because we are not an island. We cannot keep this civilization running without them. So it moved away from just a health thing more and more into a political thing, and then over into spiritual thing, because everything is spiritual. Politics is just a smoke grenade to keep us occupied with minor issues like immigration. And I mean, of course, these are real things that can influence the society and have a bad or good, whatever effect on the daily living. Yeah. But, our state of mind is the most important thing. Also, like I told someone, being happy is also healthy. If you need your occasional cake, then so be it. Like once a month or whatever, like give you a cheat day. Even if people say the carnivore diet is not working or ketogenic diet is not working with a cheat day, maybe it works for you. Or maybe you need to smoke. You shouldn't, but maybe you need it so you can grasp on. Maybe you need some vices. That's the word, vices, to still have the power to move on. If you still need that, then do it. Be happy also. Being happy is also healthy, and this is why I started believing in God. It started as a meme. I started believing in God, in a deity. I'm not into a religion, yeah, but it started as a meme, as a joke, yeah, and then I more and more figured out that it's actually quite nice to have this warm, fuzzy feeling. You can also feel it when you're just like saying like, I'm just very moral and I try to be as good as I want the people around me to be. But it's quite easy to believe in God, because the groundwork is already done for the last thousands of years. People believed into something, and I connect this. Yeah, nature is connected with God, and it wants me to be happy and healthy. And so I try to find my way back to, let's say, if you have if you get the ick when you hear the word God, then just say nature, Mother Nature, if it's better for some people. Mother Nature designed you the same like a God. Let's say Mother Nature designed you to be happy and healthy. And let's find back our path to be happy and healthy. And we have been propagandized by the industry and what's the name for the rich people that want only good for us? Whatever, multinational entities, and they want us to be vegans and confused and unhappy and dependent. And that's not how we were designed by our designer, whoever it was. Let's say nature. We are designed to be happy and healthy, and to eat simple things and to do simple things. Yeah, we're the smartest being in our perceived world. I don't want to say in the universe, because who knows, yeah. But we are quite smart on this planet, and we are so smart that we invented all this superficial stuff around us, like different cultures and different way of clothing and eating and whatever. But actually we need simple nutrients and simple occupations, like going for a walk in the woods and looking at like on a strain of grass in the wind. Like, just reduce yourself a bit. Of course, not all the time. I'm sitting at the computer right now. I don't want to be the words are sometimes quite hard to find for me in English, because I have no I was living in as a foreigner in another country, and then all I did was speak English. But now that I'm back in Austria, I only speak German. And What's the word when you say one thing and do another thing?
When you say one thing and then move to another thing.
No, you don't do what you preach. Yeah, like you're just pretending. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It will come to. It will come.
Have another idea. Maybe a facade.
Yeah, but I don't want to preach. Yeah, it's quite insane to say that after what I just said before. But be a normal person. You don't have to you don't have to eat only steak and just sit in the woods meditating. Yeah, like we're in civilization and we have movie theaters and whatever. Yeah, but actually I don't do that. I don't go to the movies. I went last time because of my kids, but I was super disappointed. Like I think this is also something all of us go through at the moment, that reality doesn't really feel real anymore. Like the next movie, the next Netflix series, the next new thing, but it doesn't really do anything for me anymore. What's really moving something inside is hiking through the woods and going for a run and building something in my yard or whatever. But all this consuming things from the outside, like movies or food, can be really nice. I have this one place where you get all the burgers on a salad instead of bread, and I really love it with guacamole and so food can really be something super delicious, but it also can be delicious if you're on a carnivore diet, because this is not a religion. You're not sinning if you eat a piece of avocado, or just be aware that it can get out of hand quite fast if you start eating carbs. But yeah, this is the journey I make. It started with eating a fatty diet with keto, and it moved to believing in God and walking through the woods. But I feel super good. My body is super strong. My mind is not perfect, but in a better state than ever. And I try to focus on the essential bare necessities. That's what the bear says in the Jungle Book. Just focus on what's real and eat real food. Look up the ingredients on everything, because they put nasty stuff in everything. Even on the heavy cream, you get thickeners, and really read what's in. And I'm quite not hard. I'm quite strange sometimes, because I'm standing in the supermarket reading label after label after label, and then I put everything back. But yeah, I don't want to. Sometimes we have this place. They have this local supermarket with this great energy drink. We've had too much sugar, anyways, but they have this soda. It's just carbonated water with a hint of some berries or something. No sweetener, no nothing. Just a bit of berry and carbs. Like, yeah, I'm already happy with sparkling water. You sensitize. Sensitize, is that the word? Your senses again. You don't need things to be super sweet or super spicy, but you can eat as much spice as you want, like pepper and chili. This is something people ask me: what do you eat your steak with? Salt and pepper is my answer. Salt and pepper, that's my side dish. Yeah, that's basically it. And I urge people that are eager to find out more. The YouTube internet is full of testimonials of people talking about their health issues. Some people have really, really heavy stuff to go through. I'm quite blessed with the little things that are bad with me. I was never morbidly overweight. I was never overweight. I never had to go to the ER or something. I just had these underlying things that were inhibiting me from living a carefree life. Like, yeah. And now everything is quite good, which is astonishing because I'm not getting younger. We all get older, but I'm more healthy than ever. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I think I agree pretty much with everything you mentioned. I think I'm the same way in the grocery. Like I would stand there and then put everything back, because of all the ingredients. Okay, this can't go with a carnivore, so I just put it back. Um, Lino, what is the hardest thing about being carnivore for you? Like for me, examples would be social gatherings with friends and families, right? Like holidays, travel, and cravings in the beginning that I had to battle out for like the whole year until the cravings went away after a whole year. What about you? What is the hardest thing?
I think it's similar to you and a lot of people because eating is a cultural thing, and cultural and social, and every culture has their go-to dishes, and all of them have carbs in it. But I have to put something in there. Our grandparent generation ate a lot of carbs, and they were quite healthy. Yeah, like the people who are 90 and up now, the World War II generation, because in my opinion, they don't eat seed oils. They didn't eat seed oils. In the past, everything was fried and baked in lard and in schmaltz and in butter fat, ghee, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, family gatherings. I don't have a big family. I have a quite small family, which is maybe a bit sad, but who cares? It's easier for me to not go to family gatherings because I don't really have a big family. But when I'm with friends and when I'm in a social, like in the restaurant where I help out, or I have 2 kids and a wife, and I don't, I mean, of course I influence them and I want them to eat nutritious, healthy meals. And I don't want them to eat garbage, candy and stuff. But I don't force them, and I'm not always preaching to them. So it's hard for me. Sometimes I even cook. I love to cook Mediterranean food. I'm not Italian, despite the name. I'm not Italian, but I love to cook pasta and lasagna, and I make my own pizza. I have a pizza oven, and it's really hard to not eat with them. But I want them to have a carefree life and to eat whatever they want, even if it's not the best thing for them. Because especially with my older son, who is 12 years old, he has mood swings. I mean, he's going into puberty, it starts. Yeah, but I think it would be quite good for his mood and for his mental state and health, and also stress as buffering, yeah, because we are always objected to different stressy situations. And if we have a bad diet, it diminishes our regeneration, our buffer, our limit to take stress. And I would love to try with him a carnivore diet because I would love to see what it does for him. But this is something he has to do on his own. I'm not forcing anyone to do anything. I just can be a good example. But this is and my own. No, I'm not in my way because I'm someone who is quite. I'm quite good in changing myself. So I already accepted. I was smoking at some point. In Europe we are all into smoking. A lot of people smoke here. Smoking is still a big thing in Austria. Until 10 years ago, it was still allowed to smoke inside of restaurants. around that. Please don't quote me on the exact numbers. And I was smoking, but then I stopped like one day to another, and I never started again. Now it's 20 years that I don't smoke. So, and the same with food. So for me, my own habits are not that that hard to overcome, but it's the social part, and it's the thing that sometimes you cannot eat anything somewhere. Yeah, because last time, where was it? Yeah, today. It was today. I went to a supermarket and I just wanted to have a bottle of sparkling water, but in the aisle where there are the cooled beverages, they only had sodas and energy drinks, and of course we're in Austria, they had beer, but nothing, just plain sparkling water. So I took sugar-free Red Bull, but this is something I also don't want to do as a habit, to drink all those, sugar-free beverages, because just don't switch one poison for another poison, and all the artificial colorants, especially the colors, it with the red and red and yellow and whatever, but also with the brown, that it's in all the colors. All the colors is phosphoric something, and it's bad for your teeth and bad for your brain. And so sometimes it's not really possible to be to have a no, let's switch that. It's possible. Sometimes some places don't have a healthy choice, and then it's still the option to not eat anything, because when you're in the fat burning mode, you can go a day without food. Just eat in the evening, go OMAD or whatever. People might think you're weird. In my old job, they always just saw me eating eggs. Yeah. Also, I don't do the canned stuff anymore. No canned fish, no canned meat, because we have all this canned pork, whatever. Yeah, it's from the macronutrient side, it's fine, but it's canned, and the can is lined with plastic inside, and I'm not on board with that anymore. Let's say it like that. Yeah, I want to be as clean as possible, and the cleanest thing is just fresh meat. Even minced meat. I'm sorry, I'm a bit extreme now. Even minced meat is a bit borderline for me. And you have to be careful, because sometimes in the minced meat, they put stuff in. Yeah, it's on the label. They put in plant fiber and stuff, and pea fiber to up the protein or whatever. You have to be a bit careful. I mean, it will not kill you, and it's not the worst thing. And this is not a cult. You're not sinning as a carnivore if you eat a plant fiber in your minced meat. But the cleanest thing is just to eat plain meat with whatever, with a piece of butter and some garlic, and maybe a bit of a side dish, like a salad, if you want. I don't eat all, the spinach and stuff, but I love chicorée. I don't know how it's called in English. Sometimes I need something bitter. Yeah. I would love something like bitter lemon, from gin and tonic, like bitter lemon, but without sugar and without artificial sweetener. But this is the thing, they don't have it. It's not on the production line. Yeah, I would love to have some of those sodas or special drinks just without sweetener at all. Just the bitter, just lemon, grapefruit juice, whatever. Yeah, then buy a grapefruit, buy a lemon, squeeze it out, mix it with a liter of sparkling water, and it will be super sweet. The other time I ate a grapefruit and I was like, is this grapefruit gene modified or what? It's so sweet, because when you don't eat any sugar at all, everything is super sweet, even lemon juice. Yeah, I'm rambling. I eat salt. I started to mix my own electrolytes. Yeah, and don't buy the electrolytes in the health food store, buy them at the drugstore, because there you can get the big boxes for cheap and don't buy. Really, the difference is like in the health store, this, it's potassium was like $100 a kilo. And in the drugstore, it was 10 per kilo. So be careful where you, and it's the same thing. It's chemically clean. It's like, it's pure. Yeah. It's, you have, your normal salt is, natrium chloride, I don't know, sodium chloride, you call it. And, the other one is potassium chloride. It's a chemical. It's pure, and you don't have to be rich to eat carnivore. Yeah. Find a local butcher, or a wholesale. Yeah. I go to a butcher wholesale. And the good thing is, this is the wholesale. They have a factory sale, and it's way more fresh. The shelf life is way longer because they pack it and then they ship it to the supermarket, and you ditch the middleman. And then it's like, I buy a 2 kilo piece, like 4 pounds of chuck steak. It's the cheapest steak cut, and I cut it myself against the grain, and cut myself the steaks, put it in a dish, put it in the fridge, and it's easy. For 4 days, there was nothing. Yeah, it's super. It oxidizes on the outside. You know that it gets gray. Yeah, but as long as the smell is clean and fresh, I don't think there is an issue. And then I fry it medium rare. Yeah, and salt and pepper. And my kids love meat. Every time I fry meat, they want meat. So it's not too hard to influence your family to eat meat. And I get more and more away from things that people say on the internet. This is quite weird to say, but I don't eat all the sardines for the omega-3. I don't eat the liver for all the iron and whatever. I eat what feels good and tastes good. And I'm doing quite well. Let's see how it goes. Yeah. And back to the topic, the hardest part, of course, is the social component, and always to have to explain yourself. Yeah, to people, why you do that, why you're so weird. But I already have I'm already the weird guy, I go running, I in the woods. I lived in a poor country. I lived in Bulgaria, from Austria to Bulgaria, which is the purest country. It's like going from the US to Mexico or whatever, and being there and for several years. And, I switch jobs every time I don't feel good. I don't like the people or whatever. I don't care. I don't know. In the US, it's not so good at the moment. I think you have some problems, but in Europe, we have really, the people who immigrate are apparently not all doctors and engineers, and, the people don't have enough children, so skilled workers like me are quite rare. So every time I need a job, I get a job. So when I don't have to fear if it doesn't work out this is also something you can do for your health. Yeah. If it doesn't work out with a boss or with coworkers or whatever, yeah, okay, don't run away, don't run away without trying to resolve the problems. But if it doesn't work out, if the place is too far away, if the pay is not good or whatever, if there is some issue, just change job. Look for another job. There is like always another job somewhere else, and being not as stressed. Yeah. And with the gas prices, maybe having something closer to your living place or whatever. Yeah, and I know you don't have it as good as we have it here. Yeah, I don't want to tell you because it will just hurt your heart if I tell you what all the benefits are we have here. But it's quite crazy. Yeah, or the sick time and the holidays, and even we get 14 pays. Yeah, we get paid every month, and it's standard in Austria to get 14 because one is for summer holiday and one is for winter holiday, extra pay, like one whole salary. So we have it quite good, and I wish everyone on this planet would have it as good as we have it here, but I think that's achievable, that's obtainable, that's possible. Yeah. And we need more cows. We need more farms too, because I need to get my food supply from somewhere. And we need more farmers. Respect your farmers. Love your farmers. Love the people who produce your food. Have that's something. Have I had it on the tip of my head. Compassion. Just have compassion for other human beings and for their struggle, and maybe we can change the world. Maybe we are the generation, every generation, our parents tried it, yeah, but maybe we can do it with just turning off the TV and eating meat and going for a hike instead of consuming. That's my journey. And even the struggle we have with explaining ourselves that we don't, I'm outing myself, that we don't take the vaccination and don't eat the vegan blob, and we don't care too much about losing our job. Yeah, maybe we can influence other people to be as brave. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Lino, if you had to describe the impact of carnivore in your life, what one word would you describe it? And tell me why.
Give me a second. One word.
Mm-hmm.
Enlightening. Because, and I tell you why, because we are surrounded by so many lies. Yeah. And the most basic thing is our diet and how we fuel our body. And we have been told we have to eat so and so many times a day, and we have to eat so and so many carbs, and we have to eat the vegetables and whatever. Yeah. Whatever you, I don't think vegetables are the worst thing. Yeah. Just to mention that, but we have been told so many things, and you can survive on just a diet of meat. And if you figure that out, that it's actually that simple and that basic, and that so many things were not true, these basic things, simple things were not true, then actually you're free, because I don't see it as restrictive. Because people always tell me they couldn't do that because it's so restrictive. You can only eat meat. You cannot eat all the nice stuff, whatever. No, it's freeing. But because you stop identifying yourself with things from the outside, like your diet. I'm not the pizza guy. I'm not the lasagna guy. I'm not the schnitzel guy. I'm just a dude who's on a journey, and I eat what's best for my body. Basta. That's it. And you're not your hobbies. You're not the car you drive. You're not the political side you align with. You can switch sides. You can be on no side. Yeah. You're not your skin color. Yeah. We're attaching to something because we are scared that we are left alone with our mind. Yeah. We want to attach to some group, and if you start disattaching, you will be scared at first, but then you attach to something different, and you attach to being human, and then everyone is your ally.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I like that word, enlightening. Lino, so I feel like many carnivores in the beginning have doubts before pretty much starting carnivore. Maybe I'll get sick if I do this carnivore thing, right? But knowing what you know now about the nutrition and the carnivore lifestyle, if you can give an advice to someone who maybe had a similar health issues that you've had, and they've seen the improvement you've had with your health, but they're super skeptical about the whole meat and fat. They're gonna get heart disease, heart attack. They have no clue, right? What would you tell them?
So there are a lot of people out there who did what I do, and I'm not special, and I'm not even an outliner because some people really had it really worse and really had to overcome detrimental health issues. And if you are skeptical but you're here, you're watching this video, so you're at least at the point where you consider doing something that you consider drastic at this point, but is only drastic compared to what you do now. And there are so many people out there who really dramatically changed their life and health. And just watch some more videos. I am super, I'm sure that you will find someone who you will super align with. You will think, this is me, this is exactly what's my condition. And maybe they're even open for you to talk with them, because most of us are open to speak to other people because we're that happy with the changes in our life. And you can always go back to being miserable and taking medication that doesn't work and destroys you more than it helps if you do that. And you can always go back to having no solution and eating the cake and being depressed and sick. And you don't have to do it. It's also there is no catch. There is no hook attached that you can always go back. You can always stop. You can always take a break, and you can always start anew with this diet, with this way of living, with changing yourself. I think people who do this will always forgive you because they're not blaming you for making mistakes. You can always forgive yourself, and this is not something drastic because it's only, like I said, drastic in the eye of our mainstream, our normalcy. So for me, this is really natural. Humans are supposed to eat natural things, and the animals around us are the most steady stream of good nutrition that we would have in a normal environment. And this is not as scary as it looks now, and it's only drastic because we are so far away from a natural way of eating in our society now. And just try it out. Don't be scared. Find your way. Smooth in. Some people need to change slowly over time. Some people maybe go keto at first and go more and more into carnivore, or start with low carb and start with leaving out all the artificial stuff, all the sodas, all the cakes, all the candy, and maybe eat the thing people would call a healthy, normal diet with vegetable and meat and some side dish. Then the side dish can get smaller and smaller, and then the portion of vegetables gets smaller and smaller, and then you put a piece of butter on it, and suddenly you're carnivore anyways. And if it doesn't work out for you, just change again. So there's no catch. There's no catch, and no one will blame you. And you can only win. And there are so many people out there who already did it and do good with it.
Yeah, that's great advice. Lino, my last question to you is your future outlook. How do you see Carnivore in the next 5 to 10 years? Do you see Carnivore being in a good light, meaning more people wanting to learn about it, more people talking about it, more people wanting to heal, because they're seeing a lot of people sharing their stories, and at the same time, the bad light, maybe the meat prices are going to go skyrocket, or maybe we'll see more censorship in the media, or maybe false information about it. What are your thoughts?
So at first I want to say I'm not really good in predicting future social behavior, because I'm so far away from the normal zeitgeist that my predictions are quite wrong at some point. And all of you know what happened in the last years, some crazy stuff, and no one would have predicted that. I'm not scared, but I'm concerned that people really dislike us being healthy without a subscription to the pharmaceutical lobby. And there are political movements that want to restrict the accessibility of meat because of the climate change, and CO2 and whatever. But on the other side, I see that people trust the trusted sources less and less, and listen more and more to real people who tell their stories. And I think we need to figure out something about AI. It can be a great tool, but also a possible danger, because the talk we have now is how would people know that we are real? You know what I mean? We need to figure something out that the machines can't do, because you know how it is. These AI generated videos get super good. You still catch them because they're too good, too beautiful, they have their catchphrases and stuff, and they probably wouldn't make my forehead as high and my nose as big and and my accent as thick, but they will be able to do that at some point, and then people will just say, yeah, all these people on Carnivore, they're fake, they're Russian bots, and they're not real, and this is all a hoax and a conspiracy theory. But at this point in time, yeah, I don't know, we need to network with real people outside of the internet also. Probably, hopefully, this is possible, and then, I don't know, reality is real, this the people who are talking about this, you cannot deny this. You can deny it, but people who are having issues and are searching for something else, and they find those groups, different channels and whatever, and all these interviews, it's really hard to refute all these people who are real people. And why would they all lie? Yeah, because it would be super easy to say, yeah, I'm vegan now, I eat the Beyond Meat and whatever, and I'm so healthy and it's the best thing. And it would be the easiest way. This is what we do, what we're putting us out there, and we're subjected to a lot of scrutiny, and people think we're crazy. So I don't do this because I want fame or whatever. And so are all the other people. Yeah, we are just humans, and we want to be healthy. And back to the question, yeah, I see that real people are moving in the right direction, and of course the forces in the background are always pulling strings, but there was a point where slavery was normal, and there was a point where dictators ruled a lot of countries, and I think we're getting better and better as a species, and I see a positive movement. But what exactly will happen, I don't know. I cannot predict it. Let's see. We are living in very interesting times, at least. It will not be boring.
Yeah, definitely. I think I like your positive outlook. I mean, the negative outlook is pretty much it's going to happen because it's not a perfect world, you know. So, and with the latest events, I mean, yeah, I mean, what can we really do? But I like your positive outlook when it comes to that. Lino, if people want to reach out or connect with you, where's the best place they can reach you?
So you can always reach me at my email address. Please just put it down there somewhere. The same address you reached me with, and I have my YouTube channel. It's called Inherent Intelligence. Like the inherent intelligence we all have inside, because we are products of God and nature, both combined. And there you can always contact me. You can always write a comment. You can always write me an email, and I always try to put out my thoughts. Like it's also like a therapy. Yeah, not only, and also to show other people that they're not alone with their craziness. We are legion. Yeah, there are a lot of people out there who are not okay with the state of things and try to change things, and themselves. Yeah, also. So please don't be scared or inhibited to reach out to me or if you just want someone to talk about mental health. I have quite a history with that in my family. So if you want to talk to someone, maybe the weird guy in Austria is the guy that's there for you. So yeah, I think you would be surprised, people out there, you would be surprised how much people have understanding for your issues. Not everyone out there is judging.
Yeah, this is excellent, Lino. I'm going to make sure to post them all in the description so people can reach you. Lino, thank you again for joining me. I really enjoyed hearing your story and your perspective. I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you.
I really appreciate you reaching out to me and letting me talk. I'm someone who likes to talk, apparently. I've been told. So I always have something to say to everything. And if you're interested into my opinion, then you can come to my channel and listen to me ramble about. And I hope you're all doing good and stay healthy. And thank you.